Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Sagittarius for February 2020, and this is for career and finance. Just wanted to give you a rough idea of how I laid the cards out. These are all clarifiers at the bottom, and at the top are the main cards. So these are all the main cards here. At the very back, I actually drew from four different decks, but the one is, of course, the Archangel Power decks, which is the Five of Michael and the Change Your Life cards. And there's also two fortune cards on the other side, as well as two other cards here, which are from the Doreen Virtue Angel Therapy Oracle cards. So again, this is a reading for Sagittarius, February 2020, and it's for career and finance, and it's for Sagittarius. So to start off, the beginning card here is actually maybe before we go into the actual reading, I'll just go through some of the cards at the back because I tend to forget these. So the Five of Michael, these are the energies at the very back here that I have requested advice for the month of February for Sagittarius. So the Five of Michael indicates that this situation doesn't serve you, and to release your attachment to the outcome and to consider taking a more uplifting approach. Having reviewed the cards just beforehand, it looks like there is some kind of beginning, ending, and certainly a lot of the cards here at the back speak to you being in a state of anger of some sort. There's some kind of emotional anger. It could be over a relationship, or it could be regarding finances. The reason why I bring up relationship in this reading is somehow it seems to overlap with the reading for finance, because I am seeing a couple of cards that relate to business partnership or relationship partnership of some sort. And of course, all the cards that are toward the back here indicate that there is some kind of intense emotional situation that's going on. So again, just to give you a little clarity, these back cards are really just indicators that there is something going on as far as your emotional life, but it somehow overlaps to the finance. So Five of Michael is saying the situation doesn't serve you, release your attachment to the outcome, consider taking a more uplifting approach. So try to be a little more positive about what's happening. If you can't fix it, step back, try to look at it with fresh eyes, or just look at the things that you can control, and despite that, you'll have to still go forward. Change Your Life is the other card, which is a sudden revelation that offers freedom and to break free of procrastination and embrace the opportunities that change brings. And again, there's also the Fire card, which is to let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. A little difficult to see it from the distance of my chair here. Okay, and the other card is about the Lion. So again, the Lion speaks to harnessing the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. You also have the emotional sensitivity card, which is honor and respect your deep sensitivity as it is a gift to us all. And then you've got the base chakra card, which says choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances as your world determines your outcome. So again, it's just really about trying to keep more of a positive frame of mind. As we go through the reading, we'll try to give you a little bit more clarity on how that is playing out for the month of February. So again, beginning of February looks to be that you are dealing with some kind of emotional issue here. You are given the Strength card, which is the Lion, and below that there is a clarifier as well of the Two of Wands. So what that speaks to in my mind is that you're having to manifest your will and your strength of mind. You're having to use your mindset, your rational, logical mind to be able to pull yourself out of something. So you're going on some kind of a journey to find out either where your place in this situation is, and going after what you truly desire, because it is about finance. I would say that you are trying, and again, there's overlap, but I still feel that you are trying to make some kind of financial decision here about going forward. So maybe there is some discussion in a relationship of sorts that indicates that you are, there's discussion of a move or something along that line, because the base chakra card, which I had read from the very back on the left side there, you know, that one actually speaks to, it really speaks to your emotional, you know, self and your material needs. So that card really is about you worrying, and, you know, when you worry, you bring more negativity to you because you're not being grateful for what you have, that kind of thing. So you want to be able to picture yourself as being financially secure, but even more than that, you want to be able to look at things from a realistic standpoint and say, you know, good or bad, you still have to make a decision. And even if it's a difficult one because you don't have all the information that you need to make the best decision, you know, sometimes you have to take a bit of a risk. But let's just see what the rest of February says before we just jump in with that advice. So emotional sensitivity is, again, just about you feeling overly sensitive, really emotional about this idea of, you know, whether or not to either trust yourself or trust a situation. You know, normally I feel that you're a really peaceful person by nature, and that you try to avoid harsh energy and conflict and that kind of thing, and that you generally surround yourself with gentleness, and that also speaks to the relationships that you're around, and that your home life and your, you know, work life is generally tends to be more moderate and sensible, and you know, for sure you're not usually out of balance. And if you are out of balance, it's not for too long, because you do tend to rely on your rational mind to be able to pull you through situations. So again, starting with that strength card and the clarifier of the Two of Wands just really tells me that you're trying to, you know, bring about your own will to get through a situation. You're trying to figure out, you know, how to calm yourself down, basically, is what I see, because there's just so much emotion at the very back here. And you're just trying to take charge of your life again, and, you know, sort of bring back your endurance and find your personal power and all of that with these two cards here. So moving into the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Queen of Wands is, you know, somebody, if we're talking about an energy of a person that's surrounding you, this would be somebody who is really ambitious and action-oriented, very strong drive and energetic. Could be somebody who likes to be the center of attention and very gregarious, and, you know, could be even really moody, and but very goal-driven and stubborn. You know, on the negative side of things, you know, could be a little manipulative. But generally, this person tends to be around for the long haul, and tends to be somebody who is quite stable and a long-lasting type partner. But it could be just a friend of yours that's influencing this reading as well. But anyway, this is, you know, somebody who's on the average quite responsible. In terms of your feelings, if it's, you know, more feelings that are shadowing the reading versus a person in the energy here, this would be about you feeling that you need to control something, over control something. You know, you need to get what you want. You have to have it your way, that kind of thing. So with the Ace of Pentacles clarifying down here, the Ace of Pentacles speaks to, you know, long-term goals, and it could be that money is coming in with those long-term goals, because Ace of Pentacles sort of infers that with a new job or something new, that's new opportunity that's coming through. But again, in terms of feelings, it would be, you know, longer lasting, enduring feelings, that kind of thing. But in terms of money, it is, just because, as I say, I feel like there is some kind of emotional element that's related to a relationship here, as well as the financial aspect. So again, new opportunities, new house, new job, something along that line with the Ace of Pentacles, but that's a clarifier. Could be coming in with contracts, or could even just represent, you know, that opportunity to grow, which is really what you need given this situation, because there's so much emotional intensity, you know, as the overall energy for the month of February. So moving on to the Justice card at the top there, which is clarified by the Page of Swords. Justice card, you know, usually speaks to a Libra energy or something around that. It could be, you know, somebody who could be legal matters, that kind of thing, that are coming through. Could also just indicate that you're making the right decisions for yourself and you're moving in the right direction. But because it is clarified with the Page of Swords, I feel that this is, they really reinforce one another. They are connected. So it is about truth and fairness, and with the Page, it's about communication and messages coming through. So I do feel that it could be a message of something being favorable or unfavorable, but really I think it's more caution, saying don't settle for less than you deserve, and just to keep moving forward here. Because you do have the World card, but again, it's clarified with the Seven of Swords. So the World card is generally, a happy, positive card, and certainly sends you off in a really, strong direction of the universe coming in to guide you and that kind of thing. So you do have some guidance here with the universe coming in. And it usually, denotes that there's some kind of hard work attached, and that there's some kind of new beginning there as well, but again, and success and all of that. But because the Seven of Swords clarifies that, I feel that you're not trusting someone. You're either not trusting yourself, or you're not trusting someone else around you. Maybe it's this relationship, energy that's coming through, because again, that's also another part of the clarifier. But what I really feel is that you're wanting to be left alone for a little bit, to be able to pull yourself out, again, with the Four of Cups, wanting to pull yourself away from things and just observe the world from that safe place here. So the fours are also about finding balance, and something may be over that you're refusing to accept. It could even be something along that line, but we'll read on further and see where we're headed. So the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is usually, again, it speaks to success and victory and those kinds of things. But with the Hierophant, there's a little bit of a different energy coming through here. So the Six of Swords and the Hierophant, so that's these two cards here. To me, it feels that you're moving in some kind of a new direction here, which is, where you really have been going with some decision that you've had to make, even though you stepped away. But it does feel that you're having to move into some kind of new direction. So it's a new direction, and, also maybe a new destination altogether. I don't know if you're planning a move of some sort. I don't see any real travel cards surrounding this, but maybe it's something that you're just considering. But the Hierophant is really giving you the permission to go ahead and make that change. You have to step outside of your current boundaries to be able to move past whatever this situation is. So moving on from that, you are down to the Six of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles, again, is, about that reciprocated energy, and with the King of Pentacles, I do feel that this is somebody who's coming through that's quite ambitious and successful. That this is really somebody who has a strong drive, that could be actually helping you or giving you advice, something along that line. But again, with the King of Pentacles, this is somebody who has the Midas touch, and somebody who already has kind of a business mind, somebody who's already reached success, who's at that top, who's quite disciplined and powerful and stable. Also, I just feel that, this person is quite reliable, and in reference to, because it's a clarifier to the Six of Pentacles, I just feel that there is some energy coming through that this person is trying to assist you, but it could also be your energy. So even though you may not be the man with the Midas touch or the woman with the Midas touch who has, reached the epitome of success, I do feel you are in a stable enough position that you can be generous, that you can be of assistance to somebody. And that might actually be part of what the issue is that you're emotionally, feeling that you need to separate yourself from your stability in some way. And then, of course, we do have the Queen of Pentacles. And again, the Queen of Pentacles is exactly that. It's somebody who's nurturing and caring, and somebody who looks after her people, like her family and those that are close to her. She's a really creative and resourceful person. But again, somebody who's quite sensible and dependable. I do feel that that is the energy of a person coming through right here. So now we're on to the Emperor and the Nine of Pentacles. The Emperor and the Nine of Pentacles is in my mind, I mean, normally Nine of Pentacles is about that independence and feeling, successful in your own way, certainly doing quite well for yourself, and especially with the Emperor tied in there. I do feel that that could be like a father figure energy, or somebody who has, a really strong position, authoritative position. So, I mean, that could again be yourself or someone you're moving into with the Nine of Pentacles, but it could offer some kind of new position of responsibility that also is, increasing your income. And I kind of feel it's moving in that direction, actually. So moving on, we are now at the Three of Wands. So wands are all about energy and action and moving on things. So the Three of Wands is really, threes are also about achievement and creativity and, the self-expression, that kind of thing. So expanding, building something. But even more so with the Three of Wands, you're looking at somebody who is, being optimistic, somebody who's taking their creative energy and being able to explore and set forward on some kind of new adventure. So this is where you're making plans, you're getting ready to put your, your knowledge backing your plan. You are embarking on this new path. This is all toward the end of February. So you're embarking on this new path, and you are able to, set sail and do it of your own hard work and effort. Again, following that is the Two of Cups. Because I see Two of Cups and a clarifier of the Lovers, and again, we have a lot of major arcana cards here that are, with the World card and the Justice card, and the Emperor card. So these are some really significant periods in the beginning, throughout the beginning, and the end of, toward middle end of February. But I do feel with the Two of Cups, again, even though that the Two of Cups in itself is a positive card, and it certainly speaks to, could speak to a relationship, but I feel that it is a rebalancing that's going on here. So, as I say, you've made a decision, you're making some plans, you're starting to rebalance, you're finding some sense of, either it was a business contract of some sort that you got involved with, or something along that line, something about signing a business deal, or somehow you've moved into some kind of, new employment, something along that line, because it's also clarified with the Ace of Swords, and Swords represents the mind. So with the Ace of Swords, this is about you and that new opportunity, again clarified here, being where you're able to express yourself with your plan. Again, it's about promotion, new job, all of that. And again, it can even be that you've attained a higher position. So again, maybe that was related to the business aspect, but I do feel that toward the end of February, you are taking action on this new opportunity, or you've made some kind of decision. Because the Ten of Swords indicates that there's a beginning and ending. You have decided to, you're exhausted from, trying from whatever was going on in the earlier part of February, because the energies really suggested that you were emotionally drained. You were really putting yourself through you're quite angry about having to part with something. Maybe it was the separation of a relationship, or that you felt that there was money that was lost somewhere along the line here. But anyway, the Ten of Swords speaks to that old cycle being released. It isn't ending. It could even be some kind of karmic life lesson or whatever that was going on there. If there was a relationship issue that terminated. But I do feel that it was about, this crisis is over now, and that you're able to get past that worry and all of that exhaustion. And with the Page of Wands, again, pages are messengers. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that card here. But the Page of Wands is the clarifier for the Ten of Swords, and that card really indicates that you are able to start fresh. So you've got a new, fresh idea on the way here, and you have enacted the plan over here, and the Ten of Swords speaks to the beginning and the ending of the old way, and that you were, with the swords here as well, that's about, justice coming through as well after finding this balance. So again, overall, February is looking pretty good for Sagittarius, but again, try to find ways to release all of the anger that you're feeling, and always, relying on your logical mind is a really good way of standing back, looking at the facts, and, learning to, you know, see clearly, focus, refocus, because you're able to see things factually versus emotionally, because you did have a lot of emotional cards here. So just finding a way to not burn yourself out. Because as I say, I mean, I do feel that you're just a really naturally peaceful person by nature. So hopefully this reading was of some use to you for February, career and finance, and that was for Sagittarius, February 2020. And we'll see you in March.